What's going on, people? K-Wolf here to bring you my review for Bleach chapter 594. And I have to say, this week's chapter of Bleach was a bit interesting and weird at the same time. We start off with Mayuri and Ichigai. Ichigai's on the ground, he's paralyzed, he can't move. And then Mayuri further restricts his movements with his Zanpakuto, and then gives him another drug. And the more I think about it, man, you do not want to make an enemy out of Mayuri. He's one of those characters that you make an enemy out of him, you piss him off, he will get you back. And also the fact that he does not care about people. He cares about his experiments, his research, his drugs that he creates. And I think that's why, I'm a fan of his. And I think like a lot of people, some people would seem to like him because of the fact that he's so unique. He's different from the other captains. He's not, it's not his strengths with the sword or how strong he is as a captain, but it's his intellect, his mind, how smart he is, and how he's able to create inventions to counter certain abilities and techniques of his opponents, and the drugs that he creates. It's all that makes him different from everybody else and makes him stand out. And also his personality gives him bonus points as well. And then we get to see Rangiku, Rose, and Kensei. They come out of nowhere and they're all zombies, but Mayuri doesn't even care. And he calls on his Arrancar's zombies to take them out. And one thing I have to say about Rose and Kensei, I'm a bit disappointed with them because of the fact that these two are not only captain level, but they're visors. They can use holification, but yet they have not used holification once, even during their battle with Master Masculine. And he wrecked them both. Kensei, he took him out and then got Rose with the hero beam. And I never understood why we don't see these former visors use holification. You know what I mean? Like during the battle with Aizen, Rose used holification and he didn't even use his Bankai. Against Master Masculine, Rose used his Bankai. But if I'm fighting against Master Masculine, I'm fighting a Quincy and this is war, I'm using everything that I got. I'm not holding back. That to me is just weird, and I just figured they'd be stronger than the average captain, but I don't know. And for them to being turned into zombies as well as Rangiku, maybe Mayuri can reverse this. I'm not entirely sure because Ichigaya is one of them. Ichigaya is a huge fan favorite. I know a lot of people like Ichigaya, and so maybe Mayuri can reverse this. Maybe he can, but then again, this is war. People die, so. Then we get to Byakuya. Yeah, Kuski, that's his last name. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that right. And Byakuya, man, he's standing there in the middle of the battlefield. We see, buildings and all this, destruction around him. And he apparently took out Candace, Nanana, and the old dude with the pistol with the glasses. And that surprised the hell out of me, especially with the fact that he took out the old dude because he had this perception about himself of being very strong and being like an OG Quincy, like he's been chilling with Juha since day one. And I figured that this dude was strong, like really strong, but Byakuya took him out with no problem. And you see Byakuya, no injuries, no dirt, nothing around him. This dude was clean. And the only two to survive the battle with Byakuya was the Glutton and the Power. I figured the old dude would survive, but no, the Power and the Glutton, those two girls were able to survive. And the fact that Byakuya probably got a ridiculous power-up, not power-up, but like he got stronger because he did train, during, with the Royal Palace. So, good for Byakuya, man. I'm interested to see what techniques he can do. And then we get to see Hisagi, and Byakuya knows there's something up with him, and he attacks him, and then we find out that Hisagi is fighting Byakuya because of Pepe, Stern Ritter L, the love. And I was like, what? The love? And we find out that his ability is that he can make people fall in love with him. And I'm like, really? Like, that seems like such a weird ability. Not just a weird ability, but just, I don't know, she's really generic because we just saw Gazelle with her ability, the Z, the zombie, and she's able to control people with her blood and make them, zombies. Her personal, puppets, if you will. And then it's like now Pepe has like the same type of ability except for the fact that he just makes people fall in love with him and he commands them what to do. Even though we don't know the full abilities of Pepe's, power, but still it just seems a bit generic and it's like I expected something different from this dude. Especially I thought he might have been a big deal, but then it's like he's the love, really? The love? So we're probably going to see, Byakuya fight against Hisagi, as well as, the power chick, because the power chick, she punches the glutton chick, and we see her arm. Her arm was ridiculously brolic, and it just, I guess, knocked out the glutton, and it's going to be, the power chick against Hisagi. No, the power chick and Hisagi versus Byakuya, which I think is going to be no problem at all. Maybe we'll see Hisagi's Bankai, which would be interesting. But I think it's still Byakuya. It'd be no problem with him. I mean, if he can take out 3 Sternritter with no problem, especially the old dude, I believe people call him Colonel Sanders, I guess from King of Lightning's reviews. I'm just surprised he got taken out. I thought this dude was a beast, but apparently he's not. And I'm actually surprised though, because I wanted to see, Nanana's and the old dude's abilities, like what their letters stood for. Candace not surprised me because, Candace seemed like a hothead, and she seemed like, Byakuya would just take her out, no problem. So, this week's chapter of Bleach was interesting. I wish, though, Pepe would have another ability or different ability that didn't have anything to do with controlling people, when we just, we just saw Gazelle use her ability to control people with her blood because she's the zombie, you know what I mean? It just seems like it's too generic. But anyways, this chapter was interesting this week. What you guys liked about it? What you guys disliked about it? Predictions for next week's chapter. Thanks for listening in. I'll see you guys later. Peace. And have a good day. And subscribe if you like this video, and give it a thumbs up. Just saying. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Have a good day.